Tom, what's happening? Ma, Bufferino. What's happening, my friends? Good to see all of you. Backwards again. Well, why wouldn't I be? I'm back to a vertical live instead of a horizontal. Just look at me. Just look at me through a mirror, Buff, and everything will make sense again. Right? This is the earliest ever for you, Tom. Ah, it's Max. Welcome, Max. Hi, JB. Good to see you. Welcome. Danster, welcome. Awesome. Uh, so I had a very long weekend, but I had to have a medical procedure done on last Thursday. Oh, my night's going good, Braden. Thank you. Welcome, Braden. Jumped off the wagon and sent it to scrap. All right. So I had a long weekend last weekend. I only worked Monday and Tuesday and had the tail end of the week off. Get over this sickness. Oh, hope you feel better soon, Braden. And I had to have a medical procedure done, just a checkup, something that you have when you're my age. I'm almost 50, so those kind of checkups. And but I had to be put out for it, and everything was fine. And so yeah, that was Thursday. And other than that, I had a nice long weekend. Old Mac, what's happening? And then worked on polishing. Had a cold, to be coughing, bronchitis, and then the bean cheese plugged throwing. Oh yeah, I've been having a week. Sounds like it. Mohawk. Just sat down with my dinner plate. What's for dinner? Come on, Matt Mohawk. We want to know what's for din. So I've been working hard at the water pump housing. Got that all polished up, and then been working on the parts that go with it and getting that all straightened out. Whoever do you know you're a character in several Reacher episodes? Did you see Hawaii? No, I did not see Hawaii. Um, I I pulled this whole water pump housing. I bought it. It was complete. It was complete. Had a water pump. Had a water neck on it. Had a. Aren't they underwater or burning? I don't know. The only thing I know that's related to Hawaii is that the great Chuck Norris has passed away. And I heard that even Chuck Norris was still a pallbearer at Chuck Norris's funeral. That's how great Chuck Norris is. But the thing was complete. It had a water pump in it, it had a water neck on it. It even had spacers on it because I think somebody was using this with a motor plate. and but who ground beef, rice, and peas in cream of celery sauce. Sounds good to me. Sounds like dinner. And whoever put this thing together used a quart of RTV when a few ounces would have been just fine. Chuck Norris died in 2020, but the Grim Reaper couldn't take him down till now. How's the truck coming along for No Name? Slowly moving forward. I'll show you some of the progress here in a minute. That's what I'm trying to talk about now, Braden. So they used a metric F ton of RTV on this thing, and I couldn't pull anything apart. I mean, it was just stuck together with RTV. Literally, the squeeze out was so bad in some spots that, like, some of the water passages were reduced by a third. Like, I cannot believe how much RTV they used. And then so here's the water pump spacers, and they're aluminum and they're anodized, right? Well, for whatever reason, they decided to take the backside and they just took a Rolock disc and it's just to take the anodizing off of it. Now, this is sanded out. I don't know why there's a step here and a step there, but I sanded this out, and the machining marks from the Rolock disc just buggered this thing up. And then so I spent a long time getting all the RTV off of the blessed thing. Then I had to spend a pretty good minute polishing it out with 220 grit, 180 grit and 220 grit, flat sanding it on a sheet of glass. But that's a lot better than it was. And I think, yeah, there's still some in the middle I want to take care of to get it flat. And then I don't know if I'm going to be using these spacers. Oh, hi, Faith. But if I end up using them, they're going to be flat and concentric and ready to rip. So there's one. And then the other one, that one polished out pretty good. I mean, it's anodized and everything, but this one was worse than the one before. But this one I got sanded out pretty good already. So that one's nice and flat. This one needs a little more help here in the middle. So I've got a few more strokes of sanding left on that. So there's my water pump spacers that I may or may not use, but if I do use them, they're right. And then here is the aluminum water pump neck, and it's just, I think it's made in it doesn't say. I thought it said if it was made in, oh yes, it's made in Taiwan. But this one I'm going to continue to work on because it's high here on the center line. It's high, and then it kind of dishes out here and here. So I got to flatten. I got to sand this a little bit more to get it. Are you going to buy a supercharger for the motor? I wish. Those things are expensive, Braden. The supercharger I want, if I was to go buy one from like the blower shop with like the blower drive and everything, it's like $3,500. So I've always wanted a blower sticking up through the hood, but my God, I can't afford one now. But and not to mention, I still need to go buy the blower manifold, which is another $900. So I'm looking at over $4,000, almost $5,000 if I was to go just pay the long dollar for everything new right now. So I got to continue to sand this out some more because it's high here, or no, yeah, it's high here and low here. So it's kind of dished still. So I got to work on this some more. And so it's coming along pretty nice. And I don't use Dykem when I do layout. I just use a black Sharpie and I just color it. And that's what I'll do. Again, there's still, you can barely see it, but there's still a little Sharpie showing here on the sides, but it's nice. And how much is a Pro Charger or how much are turbos? Okay, a Pro Charger is the same thing, almost the same. A blower is a blower, whether it be a Pro Charger, a centrifugal, or like a Roots type, like a supercharger or a Roots type. But I want the Roots type. I want the same blower like they had on the original Mad Max car. That's a Roots type blower. That's what I want. So super Pro Chargers are pretty expensive. Turbos can be expensive too, but I've played with turbos back in the diesel days, and I mean they're okay. I've always wanted a blower. Ever since I watched Mad Max as a little kid, I've wanted a supercharger, a blower. Like what Hellcats have, that kind of supercharger. Those things are like $3,500. That's like a Whipple style screw type supercharger. And yeah, those things are mucho money. People, and um those things are serious money too. Still made your mouth numb. Holy crap. Why, do you have to ferment them into alcohol first, Dano? Is that the problem? And then, drum roll, please. Oh, if you've seen my videos, you already know. But here it is, the second version. I went back and did it all over again. There's the back side of it. It's way better. It's super shiny. See? Look, you can see yourselves. So I just wasn't happy with last week, what I showed you guys last week, and I just sat back down and yes. Uh the buy a Hellcat for 100 grand. My eyes. It wasn't that bad last week though. It looks better on camera than it really did, Danny Boyd, Danster. It and besides, it was one of those things where yeah, it had some luster to it, but I would know, and I think that's my biggest problem was I knew, and I knew I could do a better job. So I just went, and I'm much happier with what happened with, and um I actually went with a better process. I tried starting off on 600 grit, and I wasn't even massaging the deep scratches out of it. So I had to take it all the way back down to 80 grit and start over. And I did some research and I found out some polishing tips. And one of them is a bath between each round. So directional sand. So if I was going up and down with 80, then I would take it upstairs, put it in the sink, give it a bath, clean it, and then bring it back down to my workstation. And then if I was doing 320 grit, which would be my next grit, I would do that left to right. Ken, what's happening? Ken, good news. There is a nice diplomat grill at the top secret junkyard. Dutch did a reconnaissance mission for me. The drawback is that it's going to be hard to get to because there's another car tight right up to it. But we'll probably be able to get it. It'll just probably take a little cussing and swearing. And Dong? I'm sure you mean Doug. Ah, going to need to, you can kick rocks right now. Little buggers. There we go. No problem. Thanks, Faith. Brother Bear. So I got a little more sanding left to do. I also want to, I'll grab the housing again. For those who just tuned in, this is version 2.0 of my aluminum water pump housing. Did a way better job shining her up. Wow, I can see the reflection in front of me of the light bouncing off of this thing. She turned out marvy. So I got to, I want to level this off real good, hand sand it, and then also there's the back side again. Ooh, see yourself, see yourself, see yourself. Hi. I want to get these level too. So I'll probably set them down on my sanding station and get them all leveled out again. That was rough cast when I started, and she looks awesome now. Did you all see TX2K26? Texas 2026? Mark Sauvé, Hot Rod Guy Garage. What's happening? I'm until I'm able to run a 220 leg from my shop into, or from my house into my shop, I'm probably going to be buying a Hobo Freight titanium flux core welder. Pretty cool what a little elbow grease and time will get you. A lot of time, a lot of elbow grease because I hand sanded everything, but it worked out very well, Brother Bear. So I'm probably going to be tackling body panel welding on shop truck this summer, and I'm probably going to. The titanium welders are solid units. Thanks, Hot Rod Guy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm probably going to be using 030 flux core, and I'm going to stitch weld everything in. And I got to do wheel arches on shop truck. I got to put a floor pan in on the driver's side. And that's about it. And then, oh, thanks, Ken. And then your dream came true last Friday. You didn't see me, Faith. No, I'm just kidding. I see Mark Martin yesterday at Darlington. Oh my God, he looks older than 67. Well, it doesn't help that he's about that tall, Max. Mark Martin is short. Come help me do wheel tubs. I know nothing about. I got accepted to where? I got accepted for Fox Valley Tech College. Very cool, Faith. What are you going to study at Tech College? I mean, I don't know anything, Old Mac, I don't know anything about installing wheel tubs, but I'm willing to, if you live closer, I would totally come help you. I have 6 years on my titanium and I've pushed it well over its duty cycle. Nice. Good to know. Harry Gant was on there and he looks like he could go drive a car like he's in shape. Oh yeah. Some people age like fine wine and other people age like cheese. Mark Martin always looked old. You're right. He's exceptionally healthy in shape, though. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Criminal justice. All right. Harry Gant and Burton Hal Skull Bandit. Yeah, the white and the green. Always wanted to follow my dad's footsteps and make him proud. Well, good hook, Faith. I age like a 6,000-year-old corpse. So I'm going to be getting a little bit of money coming in, a little bit of extra money coming in later this summer, and I've got plans. I got to order a bunch of parts, like for fuel, a whole bunch of parts for shop truck, and then I want to get all the paint for shop truck 2. And so I'm going to be painting shop truck Basin Street Blue, which is basically Chrysler's version of Petty Blue, because Petty Blue is a patented color. But I'm going to be painting shop truck Basin Street Blue, Petty Blue. B3 Blue, I think it is. I think it's B3 Blue. And I'm trying to figure out what primer I want to use underneath it. I don't know if I want to use white primer, gray primer, or black primer. And I was told that the white primer is going to make the color really pop, and then the gray primer somewhere in the middle. And then I wish I could look at the 3 colors with the 3 primers, and see if I can tell the difference on what I want, because there's something telling me that I want the white primer to make it really pop. Matching paint on the cop wheels. I have cop caps. I have 2 cop wheels, but they're not on shop truck yet. I have Ram Charger wheels on it now, which are like, oh God, I think they're 6 1/4 wide rears, and they're 5 1/4 inch fronts. But they got the 3 slots in them, or 4 slots in them. And those are powder coated Petty Blue. And I'm trying to locate, I found 2 more cop wheels and caps down by the state line. And if I get those, I'll probably have those powder coat, all 4 powder coated, and I'll run cop wheels and cop caps on shop truck. There's white primer too. You can get your primer tinted any color you want. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of going for. Even though the gas regulator was dead out of the box, but Harbor Freight swapped it out for an Olson that actually pretty high quality. Oh, that's good to hear. Spring is getting pretty close, Faith. It's getting pretty close. I wouldn't say it's here yet, but April's right around the corner. Fun fact, NASCAR didn't have a green car until 1990. They did too have a green car. The Gatorade car, the Mountain Dew car, they were white and green. Yeah, there was green cars in NASCAR. I think it was oh crap. Darrell Waltrip drove the Mountain Dew car. That was a G-body in the 80s, late 70s. And there was another G-body that was the Gatorade car. That was white with green. Both those cars were white with green. But there was green cars long before the 90s. Now, you talk about an all-green car? Okay, maybe that. But there was cars. Green has been seen as bad luck in racing. Is that why we have the color British Racing Green, Danny? But you're right. There is a superstition on green. Green motorcycles were frowned upon at one time. Officially, spring started on the 21st. Gotcha, Danster. I mean, besides the Brits, yeah, there's been a green. You're right. Green is always been associated with bad luck for whatever reason, but there's always been the exception to the rule because I'm here. You can call me the fireman. Whoa, that's my name. I go from town to town putting out old flames. I like a green car a whole lot, dang it. Oh, I've got my my 72 CB750 is its original color, its original paint, and that's Valley Green and green like grass. And I think it's a gorgeous color. And there's old guys that are like, I'd never drive that bike. It's green. Green bikes are bad luck. Well, my my CB750 is green, and my Valkyrie is green and white, so or green and cream. So trying to watch racing on my computer, but every time I press the F1 key, it just opens a help window. What do you get when dinosaur drivers crash your car? Tyrannosaurus Rex. Ah. I had one of them dark green 92 Mustang GT hatchbacks with the argent under the belt molding. Oh, yeah, that is a good look. Mother Nature has not gotten a notice yet the spring started, right? Figured out those W2 truck headers were made in the late 70s through the mid 80s by Hooker. Yes. My dad bought a set of Hooker pipes for that CB750 because the original exhaust had rusted out. And in the 70s when he bought the bike, and on top of them mailing him the headers, they mailed him a packet of instructions and catalogs and stickers. And there in there, my dad has a clear window decal, and it's probably 10 inches by 8 inches, and it says I love my Hooker headers on it. And my dad never stuck it on anything. He still has his little I love my Hooker headers stickers too. He kept all that stuff. And I think that's cool as crap. And he pulled it out one day and showed it to me. I never knew he had it. Why do they keep changing tracks? Ah! The only green car I can think of was my 79 LTD Coupe, which donated his engine to my 82 Mustang GT nearly 35 years ago. When I take my inhaler, I pulled the muscle in my back and it hurts so bad. You have an inhaler. Faith, if you're taking criminal justice classes to be a policeman, to actually try out for the police force, you're gonna have to run and like physically exert yourself. There's like physical standards that you have to meet. Just be prepared. I now have a reason to use my vintage style Hooker decals. There's old t-shirts and sweatshirts out there that say, I love my Hooker in big letters, and then it says headers in real small. You drove your $600 van home tonight? Good job, Turbo Tom. A Bugatti Veyron? Ha 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 ha. Those spark plugs looked whipped on that van, Turbo Tom. Whipped. They got their money's worth out of them puppies. So yeah, I want to get all of the paint for my truck, and it's a short box regular cab Dodge truck. And hi Levi. I want to get all my primer, all my paint, and everything, and then at very least I want to buy like a gallon of clear and a gallon of color and a gallon of primer. And Might be a first gen SHO Taurus coming your way. Very cool, Danster. So like the first item of business is I will get the inside, the whole engine bay painted on shop truck, inside of the hood, the firewall, my fenders, my radiator support. I'm gonna black out my radiator support like it's supposed to be. And so that way when I get the engine done, I can take the front clip off because I just got the front clip like lightly tossed on shop truck. And that'll make installing the drive line so much easier. And then also putting headers in so much easier. And then one of the things I want to do when I get the engine together is I want to put the headers on the engine off outside of the truck and look at how accessible my spark plugs are and everything and start massaging and everything to make things a lot easier. I don't want to have to do a spark plug change or install and then like surprise, you can't get a straight run at anything. So I'm going to scrutinize all of that first before. What's up? So I'm going to scrutinize all that beforehand with my headers. My headers are really nice. They're absolute Chinesium, but they're stainless and they look well made. Where do you guys go to buy groceries or grocery store? Do you guys all go to? I go to the grocery store just like everyone else, the one closest to my house. They're not the cheapest, but they're most convenient. It's been sitting 20 plus years. They're cleaning up the property though, and it sounds like that car might need to go. Well, sounds like that's right up Danster's alley. No, I don't play bagpipes. My ancestors only killed people. Ha 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 ha. So I'm kind of in there's nothing wrong with foreign products. Most large header companies use foreign products anyway. I'm making a sweatshirt with mine and Braden's pictures on it. Aww, aww. Yeah, Levi, I think you're right. I'd rather just revive it so my friend can sell it as a running and driving. I love Aldi. Yeah, Aldi's okay. Um, the So I'm figuring on at least a gallon of paint, primer, and base for my project. I may even go like maybe get an extra quart of paint, primer, and base just for like the engine bay and inside of box. I'd rather have a little too much paint than not enough. The headers on the Laguna are China made, and I've had them glowing red many times to count. Oh, I know that's right. Kroger's sort of for fancy folk. See, I'm from the north, so Meyer stores are from started in Michigan, so I usually go to Meyer. That's every so often Lady Duckster goes to the Wally World, only because there's one really close by where she works. I'd have to buy wool at a boat company. I'm using a lot of vintage speed parts on my D100. Yes, and put that paint down as thick as you can so you have a margin of error. My dad got my grandpa's 2015 F-150 with the Mustang motor, and he's going to put a supercharger on it and an exhaust. Easily 700 horse or more. Wow. Wow. We have a Meyer down here. I've been in it a single time, 25 years. Yeah. As a matter of fact, the Meijer started in my area up in Greenville, Michigan, which is like an hour away. And that's the original store. And then Fred Meyer was his name. And he started, um, as a matter of fact, Meyer's HQ is in Walker, Michigan, which is like an hour, a little less than an hour away from here. And yeah, it's kind of, I guess it's just kind of tradition. It's all we've always went to Meyer as a kid. But buying your buying stuff is buying stuff no matter what. So wherever you go, I just know that the profit from Meyer stores goes to Walker, Michigan. I know where Walker, Michigan is, but I've never been to Bentonville, Arkansas. Maybe one of you guys have, but I've never been to Bentonville, Arkansas. I made a rare trip to Wally World today. New battery for my 2005 Stang GT, $131. Never start. My old one was dated 219. It still starts in the car. Can't wait to get my sweatshirt. That sounds cool. It's pretty cool, amazing how many companies, industries have their roots here in the Midwest. Yep. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Levi. But it's with a supercharger on it. It's still fuel efficient for the truck, and you can still get good gas mileage. As a kid, we shopped at Great Scott supermarkets. I've never even heard of Great Scott. I buy Wolverine boots at Meijer. Wolverine World, okay, Wolverine boots, Wolverine Worldwide. That's in Rockford, Michigan, which is a little less than an hour out of here. And that place is way cool if you go. Like Merrill and Hush Puppies and a lot of other brands come out of there. And that place is neat if you go up there because you can tour the old buildings. And then they still show the tannery buildings. None of that's being used anymore, but they still, when I was just one store, Meyer bought all their meat from my family's butcher shop, and Fred Meyer courted my great grandmother. She didn't like him because he was Dutch. Not anymore. Oh, you can't do that anymore up to Wolverine, Mark? You could at one time. Wasn't there a UTV called the Wolverine? I don't know. Probably. Hush puppies are dumb. Or at least said that in their commercials. I don't remember Hush. I barely remember Hush Puppy commercials. They moved to Big Rapids. Oh, they moved to Big Rapids. Okay. Well, when they used to be in Rockford, you could tour the old building. They had old documents, like you could look at like wages of people who worked in the tannery in like 1900 and seen what they made a week. And heard of Jewel, never heard of Jules. Eagle Foods, never heard of Eagle Foods. Giants. Hy-Vee, I've heard of Hy-Vee. Um, my last job, I did food just like I do food now, and we did generic snack mix for Ralston, and it's the same snack mix put in hundreds of different brands of bags, and I mean, we're talking like Our Family, Schnucks, HEB, um, just to name a few, stuff I've never heard of, and it was all the same snack mix in all sorts of different companies. Same box, all said the try our great snack on it, and same box. Just the only thing it changed was the film. No Menards down here, dang it. We got Menards and we got the Home Depot and we got the Lowe's. The sad thing is a lot of the old, like, little hardware stores are all going away. Like, we used to have a building supply place that was just great, and all the big box hardware stores squashed that, and all the little places like that are just getting killed by big box stores. There actually is a hardware store Rapids, and it's called Kuchki's Hardware. And see, Grand Rapids back in the late 1800s, we made fine furniture in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We were known for our furniture. As a matter of fact, a lot of the pictures that I've shown heading these lives are pictures of the factories, of the old factories. There was like a dozen fine furniture manufacturers in Grand Rapids, and Kuchki's supplied nails to most of them, so they had quite the business happening. And Kuchki's is still a nice little hardware store. You can go in there and get whatever you need, and they have a Starrett tool, machinist tool display, and it actually has tools. It's a glass display, and it actually has tools on it, like a caliper and a vernier, verter caliper, micrometers, so on and so forth. And they're probably, the tools that are in it are at least 50, 60 years old. And it's funny because you can look at it and you're like, I want that. And then they'll go, oh, okay. And they'll take the box, a new one off the shelf, and hand it to you. But it's not the one that you think you're getting. You want, no, I said, I want that tool. And they're like, no, that's not for sale. I miss Happy Joe's Pizza Tasty Freeze and Made Right. I've heard of a Tasty Freeze, never heard of Made Right, never heard of Happy Joe's. My local Ace Hardware was a music venue in the late 60s. Hendrix played there. Wow. My dad used to make Made Rights at home. Okay, I don't know what a Made Right is. Interesting. Yeah, Kuchki's is a cool ass old hardware store. Charlie's Hardware. We had a Piggly Wiggly in Grand Rapids for a little while, and it didn't make it. It wasn't there long. I think just a year or two, and then it pulled out. Made Right is a loose meat sandwich. Ah, gotcha. You're close, Mark. That's Better Made. Better Made makes chips and sells chips in Detroit. That's Better Made, and those are good chips. That's something I should bring down to No Name, is Better Made chips. Loose seasoned ground beef sandwich, kind of like Sloppy Joe. I want my burger and chips from the UK. I call French fries chips. Ah, yeah. They call potatoes spuds. Well, yeah, Bud the Spud. Jack in the Box. I've heard of those. I never actually ate at one. Hardee's. I've ate at Hardee's. Love Hardee's. Long John Silver's. Yep. Um, there's a Hardee's in Target, or if you're bougie, you can call it Target. Yeah, you're right, Mark. They are bringing Jack in the Box to Michigan. We just got Bojangles. I had Bojangles for the first time. Bojangles. Good stuff. Back of the jocks. There's a Hardee's. My friend works for a truck stop, a Love's truck stop, and there's a Hardee's in um, Inspector Bruce. Welcome. There's a Hardee's in the truck stop, and they built that thing probably 5 or 6 years ago, I'd say. I don't eat fast food near as much as I used to. Ever so, it's a treat. Usually I'll do like fast food like once a week as kind of like a little treat. But yeah, I used to eat like fast food every day, and that's just expensive. I want to check out Joe's Crab Shack. The closest one to us is Joe's. There's a Joe's Crab Shack, I think, in Ann Arbor, which is um which is 2 hours away, and then there's one in Effingham, Illinois, Effingham, Illinois, which is a good minute away too. But yeah, I've never personally eaten a made right, but my dad had a secret recipe and made them at home. Gotcha. Jack in the Box had many closed down after food poisoning incident back in the 70s. Ooh. They're like a sloppy Joe without the without the sauce, kind of like a seasoned steak, and then grind it up and then put it on a bun with mustard and pickles. Yum! It actually doesn't sound bad. I was down in Grand American Trap Shoot in Illinois, and there was close to St. Louis and 10 minutes from the riots in St. Louis, and I was over eating at Joe's Crab Shack. The Maid Right near my hometown had this wall where everyone stuck their chewing gum. I never went. It gives me diarrhea. Well, that sucks, Ty. I love it, but St. Louis is kind of sketchy, and it's kind of a sketchy neighborhood. It's only a couple of blocks away from the riots. Oh, dang. But the restaurants they have, oh Meyer, are they good? The restaurants are really good down here, though. I've never been to a Joe's yet, so I can't tell you. I know my friend. I was arrested Thursday night. Well, that's kind of going to be a problem if you're taking criminal justice classes, Faith. Her mom made false allegations. I I have no words for that. They gave you a tie to wear, and when done, they would cut it off of you and hang it on the ceiling. That's cool. But she wasn't even at the house ever. Jesus. Found a recipe on the web pretty darn close to the true made right. No, you've got me wanting to make some. I seen a thing, some bar somewhere in America, where they give you a silver dollar, and then you take a dollar, you take a thumbtack, and you lay it in the middle of the silver dollar. You take a dollar bill, and then you put it wrap it around the silver dollar, and the silver dollar is an ounce silver coin. It's pretty thick. And then you take that and you walk up to the ceiling of the bar, and then you flick it up straight, and then you stick the thumbtack into the ceiling, and then you can design the dollar whatever you want. Braden knows where I am at all times. Nice. I don't want no gimmick. I want food. Here. She comes with all of Ken's accessories. Yeah. Had it before the internet. Oh, probably someone worked there and said, dolphin. Brayton. All right. I'm going to mute. We're going to take a moment of silence for the water break. I'm back. Whoops. Look at all the cardboard boxes on the other side of the office. Big Mac special sauce with Thousand Island and mayo and pickle relish. There was this lady back in the day that all she did was, I mean, this is back in the days of Donahue, and she would take famous recipes and then she would recreate them at home. And one day she figured out the kernel, the seven secret herbs and spices of KFC, and she talked about, she knew what. I heard that about the Big Mac. Yeah. Um, am I gonna have Shop Truck running this year? Maybe. Maybe. Depends on, money and stuff, and how motivated I am. I don't think it'll be racing at no name, but it should be at least able to drive under its own power around the yard. That'd be nice. Release the crack can and get him to no name. I'll go to no name, just not in Shop Truck. Yeah, one of the things I want to do is I want to get maybe even more clear coat than just enough to do the truck, because once I get the truck painted, and if the truck paint job turns out as good as I hope it will turn out, I want to have it striped, like actually striped by a hand painter, and I've got a theme that I want painted on the truck, and then I want to let that cure up real good, and then I want to cover that in clear coat also, bury it all in clear, so it'll last a good long time. And the colors of Shop Truck are going to be petty blue and bright white. I mean white, white, like that white. It'll look real sharp. What's the fun if you don't have Shop Truck? You have 500 subscribers. Let's get you Shop Truck running. Tossle has a new song out. No excuse. I towed mine over in a trailer with Girly to load. Yeah, I've been listening. Well, now here's another issue. So if I have a trailer and I tow Shop Truck down to No Name, then I sleep. I bring my little trailer. That's where I sleep. So I can't haul both. So and I don't have a trailer either. So oh, Norman Gurley. Okay. Yeah, it's fun just hanging out at No Name for sure. For sure. So if I do end up bringing Shop Truck down, I'd have to tow my trailer with Shop Truck. Then you need a bed camper for the truck. Okay. Well, if I do that, then I need a power inverter because I have sleep apnea and I need to run my sleep machine. So that's one of the reasons why I bring my little trailer. So if I were to bring Shop Truck down, I'd probably have to get a hotel room, which I'm not opposed to that idea, but I take it you didn't like my new YT channel name. I couldn't help myself. I guess I didn't even notice that you had another YouTube channel name. Who was Mohawk before he was Mohawk? Oh, Mohawk's always been Mohawk. He must have created another channel name to be silly. Logistics is a big word. Extension cord from the clubhouse. Um, maybe. Oh, it's PHQ2 haters. Oh, I understand. I understand what you're. I I now I understand what he was after. He's he's trying to say get bent haters. I camp right next to the clubhouse. Well, that's why I bring my trailers because I have a deep cycle battery in there, and then I run my inverter, and that way I can run my sleep machine. And I've got a little bed that I can set up in there. I'll tell you what, I'm proud of my little setup that I come up with for actually I come up with some of it, and my friend Dusty helped me with the rest of it. And together we come up with my little camper is pretty nice for No Name. Sleeps great. Yeah, I actually have a real bed to sleep on, not just the air mattress on the ground. I have a mattress, I have a bed riser. Oh, Mac. Yeah, shop truck will make it down there. Just when. It's coming. What's your name? I'm Doug. It's like a scratch off for a week. Yeah. Really proud of my Michigan Wolverines. They seem to be doing really good. So go blue. I'm sleeping on the ground in a tent. Yeah. And I can sleep fine like that, but I'd much rather sleep on in my little camper deal. I might just end up driving shop truck down, which I'm really not crazy about that. I don't want to. I'm doing fine. Yep, we're number one. The canopy fits right over us. Yeah. Someday I'd love to have like an actual like semi tractor. I I would, if I had all sorts of money, I'd like to have a 74 cab over Peterbilt straight truck. And I want a tilt bed on it like a tow truck would have. My dad had one when I was a little kid, just like it. And I want to paint it up just like it would be my dad's, like it was my dad's. My dad's was tan and brown, and that would be my race car hauler. And I could bring everything I needed down to no name, and then I could just sleep in my tractor, which I think would be pretty cool. I printed the first 2 rounds. Man, they play a bunch of games. My nephew made my picks. He does ball. Okay. Yeah, I kind of lost my taste for basketball. I like hockey, I like football, and I like baseball. And I'm happy it's springtime because that means, well, opening day's coming up real soon. It's April's right around the corner. Yeah, I heard that guy, that voice actor passed away. I don't play video games near as much. I'm always busy doing actual wrenching stuff, trying to get stuff done so I can actually like enjoy shop truck. I've owned it for years and I still haven't. I've never driven shop truck, and I want to drive shop truck. If it ain't got tires or tatas, I'm not really interested. Just saying. Prediction: opening game in Detroit will have snow on the ground. It could. It very well could. And I hope that it's against someone like the Oakland A's or something like that, so those powder puffs can. Translation: Hello, how are you, brother? Are you okay? Yep, I'm doing just fine. They got a new stadium finally. Yeah, it's always funny because we've had playoff games in the fall where Oakland comes up to play their series in Michigan, and it's like October and it's cold. It's so cold, and we're used to it. But those California powder puffs are just like, oh my god, it's so cold. I've never done basketball. Seems like the office people always win. I'm trying to change that. It's only $5. Yeah, I don't. Other than the Dodges, they're not powder puffs. Oh yeah, I'm just mean like you get people in California, anything old colder than 60 and 55 is cold. Maybe Inspector Bruskin. The Oakland A's are moving to Las Vegas. Well, that's stupid. Everything's moving to Las Vegas. Well, it's cold. Yeah, it is cold. Yes. Inspector Bruce lives in California. He is our West Coast reporter. Can you blame the Oakland A's? They're in Oakland. I still love the Dave Chappelle joke, or he's like you're on the highway and you're still in San Francisco and you're getting on the Golden Gate Bridge, and he's like, bye. All the hippies are saying goodbye. You're leaving San Francisco. Bye, bye. And then you go across the Golden Gate Bridge, you get on the other side, and then it's welcome to the hood. Welcome to Oakland, bitch. And he goes, lock the doors, click, click, click. They play in Sacramento until the Vegas stadium gets built. No kidding. Vegas bad bats. San Diego Padres, LA Dodgers, Los Angeles Angels, Oakland A's, San Francisco Giants. What team are you choosing out in Cali? Detroit Tigers, period. Detroit Tigers. That's the only baseball team there is, in my eyes. I'm a hardcore Tigers fan. I love my Tigers. My grandpa loved Tigers. My grandma loves Tigers on my other side of the family. Yeah, it's Tiger baseball or nothing. Still have a starter jacket. Nice. Those are pretty cool. That's not a joke. It's bad news. Mine's the Brewers. You won't change my mind, just like you won't change my mind about the Tigers, Braden. You love your Brew Crew the way I love my Tigers. I gotta say that the Raiders have some of the best colors. The black and the silver looks good. Peter Alonso went to the Orioles because they needed to free up some money because we got rid of Freddie Peralta and the Mets. Your niece will be 6 on August 10th. Well, we've got like 6 months to prepare for it. Pete Rose. Pete Rose is from Cincy, or for the Reds. I think the 84 Tigers were the best Tiger team ever. Yeah, Bless You Boys was pretty big, but 68 Tigers was pretty hot too when because we come back in we went to the World Series against the Cardinals in '67, and we lost. And right after the '67 season, Al Kaline and the guys got together and said, "We're coming back with a vengeance in '68." And lo and behold, '68 season, Tigers were on fire, and getting Prince Fielder getting ready for retirement. He left the Brewers to go to the Tigers and finish out his career, and had a season ending. Well, yeah. Well, Prince Fielder was the son. He was one of the bat boys. He was in the dugout during the Bless You Boys. So I mean, it was like a home. Yeah, it was a homecoming for Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder was impressive. He was a big dude, and he was fast. Don't do baseball either. Drinking game maybe, beer and inning. 84 dominated the season, and he also kept coming back from behind to win games. Yes, you're right. Well, bless you, boys. In 2018, me and my coworker, we went to um, Cooperstown, New York, to see Alan Trammell and Jack Morris get inducted to the Hall of Fame. That was pretty cool. It was also the last year that Al Kaline was there signing autographs. I got his autograph. I shook his hand. That was pretty cool. It was very cool. I actually went to the 2015 All-Star game. Now that's cool. My dad saw him in Milwaukee and hit the longest ball ever in his career, bounced off the top of the beams and off of the roof. For a home run. Yeah. That's if you're talking about Alan Trammell, that's one of them. Oh yeah. You want to get a good laugh. Bob Uecker won the Broadcaster Award one year, and his acceptance speech that he did was absolutely absolutely funny. Look up I forget what the name of the award is, but yeah. And who can't remember Kirk Gibson stealing home or his out of the park grand slam over the right field roof? Yeah. Oh, Prince Fielder in Milwaukee. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, Braden. Son of a bitch, I still got more of that freaking silicone in this. Telling you, the guy went crazy with the silicone. Yeah, I really miss sitting around the living room with my grandpa and watching Tiger baseball. That was always good times. Jim, welcome. Any luck with your engine? Or are you just going to yank it and put that 300 in it? Of a new product. I'll show you mine when I get done. I don't know why, but all I can think of is she'll show you hers if you show her yours. Well, I do have a new product. Just able to do a video because I've been so sick. We'll feel better soon, Braden. Silicone here. Silicone here. There. That's where it is. So there's silicone in the hole. Okay. I'll mess with it later. Oh. Oh, and another thing I need to find for shop truck is a limited slip differential for shop truck, because I got two rear axles and both of them are one wheel peel. So I'd like to get limited slip for it. Just cause. Um, Dutch has a badass um, differential cover that's polished aluminum and finned, and it has a big ram's head on the back of it, which I want to put uh, on the back of shop truck. I know putting in the limited slip's gonna be a big pain in the butt, but it'll be fine. There's a guy in D44. I'm not picking up what you're throwing down, Danster. There's a guy in my area that actually does rear axles for a living. I can set them up. Oh, Dana 44. Dana rear. No, it is a Chrysler 9 1/4. I was going to buy a Dana 60 from one of the local guys who's a Dodge truck specific guy, and that has a 355 or 354 gear in it, but it's a Dana 60 out of a 3/4 ton truck. And I would have to take the Dana 60 and then turn it from a full floater to a semi floater, because yeah, it'd be 5 lug and this one's 8 lug. And so I'd have to convert it over to semi floater. And then I thought that was going to be the hot ticket for shop truck, was putting the Dana 60 in, until I figured out that a Dana or a Chrysler 9 1/4 is just as strong as a Dana, and I already have a Chrysler 9 1/4, so I'll just run the Chrysler 9 1/4. Yeah, the full floater is 8 lugs, and full floater means you have double wheel bearings or axle bearings at the end of the tube, and they run against each other. So one set of bearings, the race runs this way, and the other one runs this way, and that's full floater. Semi floater means you just have a one bearing at the end, because like the Dana 60 in a Road Runner or a GTX, it's still the same truck axle. They just made it lighter duty. Ah, Red Bull Princess, welcome. What two-stroke quad or dirt bike are we picking up? Hey, what's happening, Tanner? Good to see ya. I have two Dana 373 full floaters, open carrier. Yeah, I wouldn't mind swapping to that, but it's I don't need that heavy of an axle, and I guess right for the time being, it's kind of like trying to get the biggest bang for my buck. And Chrysler 9 1/4. Hope my doctor lets me get my license. I hope so too. Tanner, I watched your first video of you starting to get your scamp home. Good stuff. Nice car. 500 big bore Suzuki Quadzilla. I know where one is. I do know where a Quadzilla is. A guy I know, Chuck, has it. But it belongs to his son though, And I'm sure his son won't sell it, but I don't need anything that stout anyway. If I was to buy any motorcycle, it probably wouldn't even be a two-stroker. It would be a four-stroker. It'd probably be like a late 70s Honda XL 500 with a steel tank. Try to do a video inside the school tomorrow. Cool, Faith. I can't believe how nicely Tanner's Scamp polished up. That thing is shiny. Red ain't my color, but boy, that shined up nice. Never got around to liking the four strokes because they sound like they're dying. Two strokes sound happy. Like my vintage two stroke. RM465. Yeah. I've never really been a Suzuki guy. I like Hondas and I like Kawasaki's. Suzuki isn't bad. My first road bike was a Suzuki GS 550. Wasn't a bad bike. But I had an old Yamahas are good too. I had my first dirt bike was a Yamaha, a 125 two-stroke. Get a KX 500 two-stroke. Yeah, that's a lot of bike. That's a lot of bike. I think I'd probably be happier. I'm too big for a dirt bike like that, but I think I'd be just fine with a 250. Like a 250 El Senor. Two-stroke 250 do be just fine. I originally planned to repaint the new Scamp green, but I can't bring myself to get rid of the original paint color. The road trip video is coming this upcoming Sunday. Had a YZ100. Oh, yeah. Oh, the IT175 engine. Oh, yeah. 200 little kid sled. Yeah, El Senor. There was a whole El Senor series. I think it'd be cool, Tanner, when you made the mention that after you had it parked next to Jamie's red and white Charger, that your car was supposed to have a white top too. Maybe that's the years of the white hat special. But putting the white roof back on that, I think that would be pretty sharp. There's a 79 CR250 El Senor in the shop, all tore apart. Oh, cool. 79? That's a plastic tank, isn't it, Tanner? Or is that a steel tank? No, that's plastic. That's plastic. That's the beginning of plastic tanks, I think. Maybe. I know a 79 XL 500 has a steel tank. Canadian Yamaha 350 two-stroke bike, like road bike. Doesn't have to be Canadian. If you're talking about the RD 350 series, I plan to repaint the roof and an off cream like white. I want to make it match the original interior. Right on. That would be cool. That would be cool, Tanner. Bye, Colleen. Good seeing you. As always, take care. Bye, Ma. Don't remember what tank it is. The CR is a buddy, so I barely remember what it's like. My 1980 GSL 550 had a steel tank. Yep. A lot of the dirt bikes in the early 80s went to the plastic tanks. I hear Ruby. No, she ain't coming. I thought my dog was going to come visit her dad. I've actually never owned myself a plastic tank dirt bike. Everything I've had was steel tank. I do know where a Kawasaki KZ 1300 is, which is the liquid cooled inline six um, road bike, but it's black and gold. I think it's an 80 or an 81, but it doesn't have a title. And I thought that'd make a pretty cool drag bike. The neighbor's dog brought her puppies over earlier. They were friendly. I'm a cat guy, but you have to pet the puppies, of course. I want a Honda 73 wheeler. Yeah, those three wheelers are pretty cool. Just be careful. Don't do sharp cornering with it because if you corner hard, if you do a hard corner to the left, it wants to tip forward to the right. That's where a lot of people got hurt. There's a Honda 70 in his backyard. There you go. 500 two-stroke three-wheeler. No. I think the biggest two-stroke three-wheelers were 250s. Well, it's the 85 350X. That's some fast stuff. Yeah, like the old Honda Big Reds and stuff like that. Yeah. Um, Yamaha had a Tri Z 250 liquid cooled, which is a three wheeler. Kawasaki had a Ducati three wheeler. Came with all the aluminum parts were gold anodized. The biggest two stroke bikes made by the Big Four were all 250s. Yeah. What brand and what motor? All time favorite three wheeler. It's a toss up between the Yamaha Tri Z 250 and the Kawasaki Ducati 250. They both are just absolute beasts of three wheelers. Both of them, like you're on the pipe, the front tire is not touching the ground. It's ridiculous power band. There, if you got 100% be on your A game with that thing. It's trying to unalive you the whole time you ride it. There's an 86 Tri Z 250 in the backyard as well, an 82 ATC 250R. There's also an 84 Kawasaki Takate 250 in storage. We have all three big ones. Ooh, what color is the Tri Z 250, Tanner? Is it bright yellow or is it orange? Orange. They came in other colors. All the ones I've seen were yellow. Dang, I want to go play at Tanner's house. The 82 250R is actually pretty manageable. It's easy to ride. Oh, for those who came in late, my water pump housing for shop truck, hand polished by the Dougster. Wasn't happy with the first time. There's a lot of sanding marks left behind, so I went back and did it again. And yeah, buddy. See everyone? Hi. white and red or black and yellow. We have the white and red one. All I've ever seen is the red and blacks, or the black and yellow ones. I've never seen a white and red one. Those are pretty cool. I want to go play it. I want to go to Oklahoma now and play at Tanner's place. He likes Mopars and he likes dirt bikes and two strokes. Yeah. Sounds like fun. You should take some of those jewels and try Z that was mostly yellow was the 85 model, you know. I do have another channel dedicated to dirt bike adventures. I keep forgetting about that. I know it's a long haul for you, Tanner. Oh, never mind, because now I was going to tell you about the vintage motorcycle show up here at the Gilmore Museum just by Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's actually in Hickory Corners, but it's a week before the No Name. Now you need to polish the water pump, Buff. No, I'm not going to polish the water pump, even though it is an aluminum water pump, for two reasons. A, it's going to kick up a lot of dust, a lot of aluminum dust, which I don't want the aluminum dust getting into the bearings and everything of the aluminum pump. And it's real small. I mean, it's just that right there. So it's a little conical job right here. So first off, I don't want all that aluminum in the bearing. And secondly, once I get the pulley on it, you're not going to see it anyway. So I'm not going to polish the water pump itself. Dougsterson, wax on, wax off. Cousin Magic Mike, what's happening? Good to see you, my friend. So yeah, once I get the pulley on, you're never going to see the water pump anyway. And besides, if I polish the water pump and the water pump were to fail, then I have to either have my polished one rebuilt, or I'd have to buy another aluminum one and polish that one. So there's another reason why. You're not on the mushrooms tonight. Okay. Good to know. You can paint the water pump? Maybe. But nobody's going to once the pulley's on the front, nobody's going to really see it. So I might just leave it natural. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not ruling it out. I do, if I have to do any panels or anything like inside of shop truck, I want to do engine turning, which is I want to do like some aluminum panels with engine turning stuff, like old school machinists would do. I like that stuff. And won't it rust, or is it aluminum? It's aluminum. It's an aluminum water pump. So yeah, I could polish it out just as nice as the housing, but nobody's going to see it. So once the pulley's covering it, the pulley almost covers the whole thing, and it actually sits like over top of it really good, so you never see it. Gave my water pump a quick spray with aluminum colored engine paint just to ward off corrosion. I'd used the aluminum water pump. The pulley completely covered it though. Yep. Exactly, Tanner. but I got my highly polished tunnel ram, and I thought that you're going to be looking at that beautiful polished tunnel ram, and then you're going to see the natural finish 440 source water pump housing. And I thought, man, wouldn't that be nice polished? I'm glad I did it and finished it right the second time. Danster, you're not dumb. I'll tell you what, the original cast iron water pump, that same unit and cast iron for Mopars, is heavy as crap. It's got to be 25, 30 pounds. It's amazingly heavy. The first time I picked one up, I was like, oh my God, it's heavy. Well, a big block Mopar, if you use aluminum intake, aluminum heads, aluminum water pump and housing, Dan IT guy, what's going on? Dan the man. You take a big block Mopar down to the big block Mopar with the aluminum parts, makes it weigh the same as a small block Mopar all iron. So that's considerable weight savings right there. It is a pretty large assembly. So yeah, I'm going to sand out a few more things on it, get everything nice and ship shape and level, and then I'll be able to assemble it all. If only you could find me a set of Mopar Performance W2 wide valve covers. Yeah. I mean, I'll keep my eyes peeled. You never know. Once I get my race scamp in the new shop, I plan to start mocking up the tunnel ram. I close on my house this Friday. Congratulations, Tanner. So how far you got to move from where your digs are now to the new place, the new shop? Hopefully not far. Yeah, awesome, Tanner. Awesome. Good for you. What are you using for carburation on your tunnel ram? I'm assuming it's a dual quad tunnel ram. So what kind of carbo motators are going to be on your tunnel ram? I think they're going to be Hollies, aren't they? I got two burnt physically. I'm I'm moving 3/4 of a mile. Roach instruction wise, it'll be a 3-mile drive. That sucks. Plan to use a pair of 600 CFM Hollies. Nice. I've got a set of brandy new Edelbrock AVS2s, 650 CFMs for my tunnel ram. Yeah. When I get my money coming in, I plan on making a huge order with Edelbrock. I'm going to build the fuel system of my dreams. I finally figured out what I want to do for my fuel cell in a shop truck. I was on the fence where I wanted to mount my fuel cell, and I decided that I'm going to get a fuel cell that lays down, and it's like 7 inches tall, 17 inches long, and I forget how wide it is, but it's an actual fuel cell. And I'm going to mount that in, shop truck is a short box. I'm going to mount the tank in the front of the box on the floor. And then I want to get a diamond plate, a nice looking diamond plate toolbox, and put that in the back of shop truck. And it'll work as a place to store stuff. And then also it'll protect the fuel cell. So in case I do decide to haul something in the back of shop truck, which wouldn't be much, but it is still a truck and it can still haul things. That way, if something were to slide forward, I don't damage I less likely am to damage the fuel cell. So that'll be nice. And if I play my cards right, my plan is to, when I fuel up, I just open up the toolbox and then reach inside and fuel up the fuel cell from in there. So that would be kind of my measly little plan. And then I also want to get um I need to get a fuel pressure regulator with return. I have a nice fuel pressure regulator. It's a really nice Barry Grant. Hauling ass. It better haul ass, damn it. So that'll be another, yeah, if I get a nice diamond plate toolbox, I'm going to make sure to polish that up real nice too. I know it's going to take up a lot of space in my short box, but at least it'll protect the fuel cell. The problem is it's going to be midsummer when I finally get my money. So the money, so I'm it'll be midsummer. I'll be almost too late for me. I'll be able to get the parts coming in for shop truck, but I don't think I'll have it ready for no name, which stinks. But hey, whatever. I at least hope to have a drive line in. Like the whole time I've owned shop truck, it's never had a drive line in it. I bought it with no drive line. When I bought shop truck, it was a cab and a front clip on a chassis. That was it. No drive line, nothing. After buying the new scamp in the house, I'm about to be super broke. Yeah, but at least you're paying on something worthwhile. It's not like you're in a buttload of debt for dumb stuff. You got a house, and that's what's important. You can do it, Tanner. You'll do fine. Just if you can, try short-term monetary, long time, lifelong memories. That's my justification. Yep. If you can, Tanner, try to throw a little extra money towards your house payment every chance you can. My D100 was a roller when I got it. Oh yeah, I only gave $300 for shop truck, but brother, I'm coming for that mustache. I can only have the best mustache. You know what, brother? When you come to get this mustache, you're going to have to fight for it because this mustache don't take no guff. Brother. Hulk Hogan, what's happening? Brother. I fully plan to play towards principal on every payment. Good for you, Tanner. Yes. Yes. Yeah, the sad thing is on shop truck, the only thing that's still original to shop truck that's on shop truck right now is its chassis. The wheels, I put different wheels on it. The axle's still the same, the frame's still the same, but I put a different cab on it. I put a different front clip on it. I went and bought as many. I bought the best in rust-free parts, as rust-free as I could afford. It did have a box. I bought a box for it, and yeah, yeah, that's what we do here. We make sure to pay extra on our house payment. At WrestleMania, those 24-inch pythons will be running wild. So we've only got one question for you. What you gonna do? Mustache runs wild on you. This mustache is got way more than your mustache. So let's get this straight. When the ladies come for mustache rides, they come here, not there. Just remember that, brother. And to all the ladies, all mustache rides are free. You like Ryan Blaney's mustache? Try to double your principal each month. Let's be honest, I have the best mustache. You're biased, but okay. I mean, whatever. How about this? You have the best mustache in Oklahoma. The best mustache. Got to be Sam Elliott. Could be like Wilford Brimley with his big old mustache. He's like, "Do you have diabetes? Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley." Gotta be Raleigh Fingers. I met Raleigh Fingers. I shook his hand. I got his autograph. That was pretty cool. Oklahoma, the land of the best mustache. The best mustache in Oklahoma. And hey, they're not just great, they're okay. Because in Oklahoma, that's okay. Yeah. Yeah, Raleigh Fingers with the wax mustache. I don't even want to think about your nipples. Diabetes, 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 diabetes. I don't think your beard counts. It's part of his mustache, though. When I was a kid, this was probably 1989 or 1990. There was, we were at a truck stop. I was riding around in the rig with my dad. My dad was a 40 something year retired truck driver. And this is the 80s, it's summer. And the guy had, there's an old dude. He was all grayed out and he had a Fu Manchu mustache. And then it was braids that went all the way down. And it was at the Fu Manchu braids were all the way down to his belt buckle. And they were braided and he had red bows tied on the ends of them. And the dude he was an old dude. He was probably 60 years old, but still, he was a fit old dude. And I bet you nobody gave him shit for his little red bows on his mustache. Oh, hi, Tracy. Good to see you. Catfish Hunter had a stash. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wilford Brimley YouTube poops. Oh, Mex is still with us. I'm just going to call you Docs. Hi, Docs. Who names their kid Catfish? Bootsy Collins. His older brother's name. So you had Bootsy and Catfish. They both played in. They were the replacement band for James Brown. And they were the replacement band because James Brown broomed his whole band and got those guys in. And then after a while, those guys put Bootsy up to it. And Bootsy went and asked him for more money because he wasn't paying them boys nothing. And so what did old James Brown do? Fired him. Sent him home packing with bus tickets. Oh, the Collins brothers were from Dayton, Ohio? Cool. Who names all of their kids the same name? Oh, George Foreman. All of his sons were named George, and then even his daughter was named Georgina. Bootsy Collins is one of my favorite bass players. Yeah, the space bass. Yeah. Bootsy's the man. Him, Peter Steele, Les Claypool, Ryan Martin, and the obligatory Flea. Yeah, those are all good. Well, what about... Oh, I just forgot his name. He was the bassist for Cream. Can't think of his name. I knew a Richie whose brothers were all named Richard. Jack Bruce. Boom. Thank you, Danster. Jack Bruce. He's a good bassist. John Entwistle from The Who, old Thunderfingers himself, he was a pretty good bassist. Oh, wait. Max is listening. You're welcome. Donnie Baker and the Pork Pistols? I tell you what, state law. Never really listened to Cream. Louis Johnson, Thunder Thumbs himself. Okay. I like the Cream. It's the power of three. There's something great about the 3-piece band. If they have an energy. I wanted to marry a Mr. Dover and me name our first son Ben. That's right. Or marry Mr. Crack and name your first son Harry. Yeah, Power Trio. Yeah. Well, I mean, look at all the wonderful groups that are of three. You know, Cream was awesome, 3-piece band. Rush, 3-piece band. ZZ Top, 3-piece band. Jimi Hendrix and the Experience, 3-piece band. So, I mean, there's something magical when you can pull it off. Hi, Docs. Looking to start a band with my cousins. There's 3 of us who all play different instruments. None of us are drummers, though. I'm the bassist and one of the vocalists. My favorite 3-piece band, Rush. I like Rush too. Triumph, I think. Yep, don't forget Primus, 3 pieces. Yes, yes, yes. Man, but then again, Les Claypool is like four frickin' players himself. Les Claypool is so crazy to watch him play because he makes it looks like he's just goofing off. It doesn't even look like he's seriously playing, and yet he does all these absolutely amazing things with the bass. Les Claypool is just amazing. And he was awesome back in the 90s when he was young, so I could only imagine how good he is today after playing for 30 something years. I am fine driving, but here at the house. If I drink something, I am there 10 minutes later. Since it's hot here, I drink a lot of water. That's important. I can't make enough sound, make it sound like there's two of me. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Like, you watch Les Claypool and he does this thing where he'll tap on the bass and all of a sudden he does this open palm thing, like he's just raking the strings with his fingertips. It's just amazing to watch him go. Now, I am no musician by any means, but I appreciate music. I just I just can't. I just never got the knack for that. I'm the Charlie Daniels of the Torque Wrench, though. Hi, Doc Celta. I've said hi to you every time that you said hi. I've said hi back. So once again, hi, Doc Celta. Used to be able to play the guitar and bass okay. Yeah, I I played trombone when I was a kid, but I hardly played that well. So take a lot of my style from Les Claypool, Ryan Martin, and Peter Steele. These guys are very distinct style combined with my own unique style. Awesome. So, Tanner, I'm sure you already know this. Do bassists play guitar with picks? My uncle, my youngest uncle on my mom's side, um he's a really good musician. Plays bass, um, plays a little lead guitar, plays the piano. He's really good. Played the recorder in high school. I didn't learn to or ever perfect pitch with, and the teacher never knew. Funny thing, I've actually started using picks a lot recently since I started listening to Typo Negative. It's a great way to add a different sounds to the mix. Yes, yeah, pick does have a different sound. I remain musically illiterate to this day. I appreciate music. I just, yeah. My friend, his hangout room is where him and his band would go jam, and I just go there and just pick up stuff and start messing around. But I mean, I've never actually could like uh really do much of anything. Couldn't really play a guitar all that well. Can't play a can't play a bass all that well. I can kind of play drums, but I wouldn't say that I could actually like carry a tune or anything like that, or carry a beat. But that's probably the best I could do is maybe the drums. But I can't even keep time. Hardly no rudiments. I've been teaching myself musical theory the past few months. It's interesting for sure. Sounds it. I can memorize the songs the first time through. Wow. It was really interesting was one guy, Larry, he used to jam with my friends. They just come jam. There was no real band. It was just, jam night was this night in his garage, and people would come over and just jam. And this guy's uncle, Larry, would come over. And it was interesting because Larry was heads and shoulders above everyone else musically. And they'd be playing tunes and covering tunes, and then they'd get to the solo part of the song, and no one else could solo, so they would just kind of just strum through the solo. But when Larry was there, he'd step right out and he'd just rip off of just an absolute blistering solo in his own little way that was just freaking perfect. Yeah, watching Uncle Larry do his thing. He was an old dude and he was good at what he did. It was amazing to watch him. I love music, but I couldn't read a note even if it was written in braille. Oh, the said hi is what shows up when somebody comes in from the live feed on YouTube. So they kept leaving and coming back in. Is that why they kept the said hi? Because that they kept leaving and coming back in. Hmm. Maybe that's why, like when Kev Smith will come hang out with us, he constantly is saying hi also. I wonder if that's because he keeps coming in and out, in and out, in and out. Stupid YouTube. In the live feed, isn't this the live feed? Right? Oh, so I've got a pretty good fuel system started already. I bought a used fuel system years ago from this really great guy I met down by the state line, or actually in Elkhart, Indiana. So I've got a Holly blue fuel pump, and I got a bunch of as opposed to a subscriber feed. Ah, okay, I get that. So I got a Holly blue fuel pump. I am so confused. I'm a little bit confused too. Thanks, guys. Now I'm playing my bass for the first time since I left Washington. Nice. So I got it seems some weird YouTube deal seems to do that for a lot for some reason. So I want to get some more for my fuel system. I already have a Moroso Super Cool can that I want to run in my system. So I need a 100 micron fuel filter, inline fuel filter, 10 micron inline fuel filter, and they're the rebuildable kind. So you can just take it apart and change the element inside and put it back together and run it again. And fuel pressure regulator with a return, and then a bunch of more AN line and fittings. And everything else I've got is AN red and blue like it's supposed to be with the regular silver line. So I think that's going to be the theme of my fuel system is old school. I know a lot of people like the black, but I don't know. Maybe we'll keep it old school. Oh, and I want to buy some, at least a couple of the AN adjustable wrenches. Maybe I'll actually buy a set of actual AN line wrenches for everything. I'm kind of excited about that to actually have a real like hot rod fuel system happening. And I won't have to run it all that far because I'm only going to have to run it from the front of the box up to the power plant. So I'll actually guess it's good you can see who's new from the live feed. Yeah, okay. Great. Now I have the bass riff in my head that they play every time Jerry Seinfeld changes scenes. Actually, the bass riff that I have in my head right now is John Entwistle's bass riff from his little solo riff from the tune My Generation. Live at Leeds is a pretty kick-ass album. Oh yeah. It's kind of cool. Like back in the day, you had the English youngsters were divided. You had the mods and you had the rockers. And if you were a mod, you listened to The Who. And if you were a rocker, you listened to the Rolling Stones. And the mods and the rockers didn't get along with each other and they'd battle all the time, only simply for the music they liked. How interesting. Kev, what's happening? We were just talking about you. Were your ears burning? It was all complimentary, of course. But we were talking about you. A few weeks ago, I figured out the bass line to Rhinestone Cowboy. I can play it okay, but I never practice. Guitars and basses are just portable pianos. Uh, my friend's uncle was in Vietnam, and he was a musician, and he had wanted a guitar and didn't have one, and then he found a smashed guitar, and he kept it, and then he um rebuilt it the best he could. He kept the neck of the guitar, and then the whole thing was destroyed, and he kept the guitar, and he rebuilt it using a piece of plywood, and so he was able to carry a guitar, something that he could play for the rest of the war. And he would break out his little plywood guitar and he'd play it. He played it for the rest of his life. They would actually buy him on a real nice guitar, like a nice Epiphone or something like that. He'd strum on that a little bit, and then he'd just go pick up his little plywood guitar and play with that. It's what he liked. That was his guitar. I was over playing model cars with my shrinky friends. Nice. Yeah. Um, Vietnam didn't look like fun at all. I agree. Um, my Uncle Dave, he was ROTC in when he was in high school, and then he went off to Vietnam right after high school. And yeah, not fun. Uncle Dave flew helicopters in Vietnam. Not fun, but had a job to do, and he did it. Mark was there. Yeah. Kind of figured it, Mark. Oh, in 1990? Oh, 98. In 98. Okay. Do you guys remember the Vietnam special for Top Gear? When Top Gear went to Vietnam and they were going to drive cars up the coastline. And but then they explained that in Vietnam, all cars in Vietnam have a 50% um tax on all of them. So hardly anyone owns cars in Vietnam. So they all had scooters, and they rode their scooters all the way up the west coast of Vietnam, and then they turned their scooters into homemade watercraft. And I guess there's this man-made floating island out on the water, and they turned them into watercrafts, and they all went out and they had to go to the man-made island. It was so damn good. Original Top Gear was flipping English Top Gear was flipping cool. Really enjoyed Top Gear. Hammond! Jeremy Clarkston. Bubba says Vietnam's got good trims. Everything is backwards again. I'm confused. Oh, that's because I'm back to my phone with its front facing camera. That's why everything is reversed. If I use StreamYard and I use my tablet, then everything is the normal way. '58 Oldsmobile wagon. Nice. might have ended up being one of McNamara's morons. Yeah, that was so sad that they were trying to send those low IQ folks to. That was. Those guys shouldn't have been going to war. A guy that he had a choice. He wigged out on a principal in my high school, and he beat the principal. I'm dead serious. He beat the principal so bad they put him in the hospital, and he got arrested, and he went in front of the judge, and the judge said, "You have two choices." This is during Vietnam. You have two choices. You can go to prison, or you can enlist in the Marine Corps. And he chose the Marine Corps. Oh, am I a Jew? No, I am not. That is not the Star of David. That is the Dodge Brothers logo. But that doesn't matter because book 'em, folks. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, I figured I'd be in motor pool also. I have a bunch of old resin bodies I haven't looked at in years. I've got some models put back. I used to build models when we had our apartment before I had my own garage. I used to build models and stuff like that. But now that I have my own garage and a place to work on my own stuff, I work on real stuff, not cars. I work on real cars, not models. I got some nice stuff tucked back, though, in the model department. Mohawk, some models, a white wagon, showed you. Kansas, jade, green, and white. Ooh, nice. It'll smell a little funny, Danster, and be awfully sticky. Hope you like brown. Scream my mom. The Vista Cruiser. It was made to cruise the vistas. I pay good money for resin bodies. I can make the van from the Cheech and Chong movie. That van was pretty cool. I had a cramp. I bet you did. He takes his hat off and after you, King Salami. You see the vistas through the Vista roof windows. My 95 Oldsmobile is called the Cutlass Cruiser. 95 Olds, that'd be a custom cruiser. Yeah, that's a custom cruiser. The Cutlass Cruiser was my 83 was a custom cruiser. I think 95 would have been a Cutlass Cruiser or a custom cruiser. I'm not going to argue. Vista Roof was an homage to the classic Cena Cruiser Greyhound bus, I think. Either that or the old Vista Roof train cars that they had, like for Amtrak or whatever, because they had those train cars that had the glass domes that looked like a airplane cockpit that ran down the middle of the those train cars for like Amtrak. I think because I think those were called Vista roofs also. So it could be C, all of the above. Yeah, Vista Cruisers or Cena Cruiser is a cool RV. I met a guy who, when I was a kid, turned one into an RV. But does it cruise quite well? Yes, it cruises. Cutlass Cruiser. Okay. Sierra body. My dad had them. It was a four-door in his wagon. Changed the bulbs. Changed the belts on both of them with no tools. Barehanded. Hot engine on Grandpa's too. Dang. Go Danny Boyd. Cutlass Cruiser. Sierra Cruiser. Okay, the little ones. Okay, now I'm on board. I was thinking the full-size wagon. I was thinking full-size wagon. That would have been a custom cruiser. Because my 83 was a custom cruiser full size. And it wasn't the G body version. It was the big old battle tank Oldsmobile with the 307 in it. Ooh, sport wagon. Yeah. Yeah. Sport wagons had the same roof as the Vista Cruiser. Too bad she's got cancer. Rust. Yep. Yep. Many a fine automobile life has been cut short in the Rust Belt thanks to rust because it never sleeps. It never takes a day off. It's always eating. She was pretty last Sunday. Or B body is the large GM. I don't know that body, to be honest with you. Um I'd have to look it up. I don't know what body that is, but they ran that body. My old wagon, they ran for years and years and years. I mean, late 70s Oldsmobiles are still um I think they probably ran that body style for probably 7 or 8 years. Ooh, driftwood beige metallic. We call her Goldie. A friend of mine has a like it's a butterscotch gold Chevy pickup, and I always call it Goldfinger. My friend Rick and his lady Sarah, they used to have an Olds Firenza in gray. I remember that car well. They owned it for a really long time. Garnet red. Hope I can make some cars pretty this summer. I'm looking forward to getting some body work done on Shop Truck. Trying to get her straightened around. The Buick Roadmaster and the Caprice are B bodies. Okay. Buick Roadmasters are always nice cars. I always like the 90. My ex-girlfriend's dad, he had a 95 Buick Roadmaster. And it had the gray leather interior. It was a black car. It had the simulated wire hubcaps. And he had put a set of, it had the Dynaride, and he had a set of Michelin tires on that thing with raised white leather. And he owned a piece of property way up north, and he'd take us up north to go to the property just to hang out for an hour or two at his property and watch the turkeys run around on his property. And we'd come home, usually get ice cream and come home. I loved riding in that Roadmaster. It was a good looking car. It rode just like a Cadillac. You know, Dynaride Buick was a damn nice car. Hi, Ginger. Good to see you. I have a friend of mine, Pete. He loves the all-wheel drive Astro vans. Anytime that I see an all-wheel drive Astro, he only wants the all-wheel drive ones. Anytime I see an all-wheel drive Astro, I get a hold of Pete. He goes, "What'd you find now?" I call him. He's like, "What'd you find now?" I'm like, "What makes you think I found one?" He goes, "It's the only time you get a hold of me these days." That's not true, Pete. Insurance paid off on a $10,000 paint job after the total. Good God. Um, I asked Kiwi once on one of his live streams, because Kiwi's Customs and Classics down in um, Tennessee. I asked him what one of his paint jobs cost, and he said $12K. But then again, his paint jobs are nice. All-wheel drive Aerostar has an aluminum drive shaft that goes right into a Fox Stag. Oh, there's a guy down the road from me. He has a 1990 Aerostar that's like dark gray, like slate gray. And the thing is, he drives it daily, and the body's actually really nice. And he also has like an 85 four-door Cavalier. And it's just so neat that both those cars are actually in pretty decent shape still. And he drives the wheels off of both of them, but he off and on drives the Chevy Cavalier, but he drives the Aerostar all the time. Astro had fiberglass leaf strings and never seen one broken either. Crazy. Eldo is E. Novas were X bodies. Camaros were F. Yeah, my nephew's Nova, his 76 Nova is an X body, I think. Yeah, I think it's an X. Okay. We've been on for 2.5 hours, and I think I'm going to wrap it up for the evening. So thanks for coming in and hanging out with me, everyone. It's always the highlight of my Mondays. I look forward to doing this with you guys every Monday. So I really appreciate it. And so let's be like the Beach Boys and let's get together and do it again. And so be here next week, same Dougster time, same Dougster channel. Bye, everyone.